is like extremely hot right now. Sorry, just give me some time to set up. I had to like move off my files in my new recording like library, because since I'm uploading these videos on my channel, I had to like put everything in one file so I can find everything easier. Anyway, alright, let's get back to this. Yeah, is this showing? Okay, it's showing right now. Good. Alright. Okay. Oh my god, it is like so goddamn hot right now, guys. Oh my lord. Okay, let's start with our, well, I mean, let's like continue. Let's continue back to this. Is it me or none of these are? What the fuck? Man, I swear. Microsoft Word is getting worse. Like every single update that occurred, it just gets worse. Oh my god, it's so laggy that I can barely change the words. Alright, so because yesterday I couldn't like open my mic and talk, or I couldn't say anything, I'm going to reintroduce this like concept of a test. So this test is called the IELTs test. Yeah, IELTs, and I already explained what it stands for. IELTs stands for International English Language Test. Basically, the IELTs test is very famous among Southeast Asia, and for people who wants to study abroad, like someone in Thailand, if someone in Thailand wants to study in Canada or wants to study in Australia, they had to have like a minimum band or a minimum score of 6.0. So yeah, 6.0 above basically. So if you happen to score like a 6.0 above, you can 100% most definitely go and study abroad. And the higher the band, the higher the score. For example, if I have a 7.5, like if I want to study in America, I could get a discount because people who score high bands are regarded as people who have a mastery of English in a higher level, basically. And I am not using my IELTS diploma as a scapegoat or as a as a method to study abroad. I'm not trying to study abroad, so I'm just studying just for the sake of raising my band from 6.5 to 7.5, and it's also because my job requires me to have one. Unfortunately, it is such an obnoxious exam. I even made a joke from yesterday's post. Like I uploaded my studies of IELTS yesterday, day one, and I made a joke that I maybe I should call this series the IFH IELTS. And IFH basically means I fucking hate I fucking hate IELTS. So yeah, studying IELTS is basically trying to be a snob. So you have to have a mastery of English in a way that similar to how British people would like use English. So for example, like sometimes British people would use English with idioms that only they would use, and if you want a higher band, that's basically how I mean, that's one of the way how you could get a high band is to use idiomatic sentences that native speakers would do. So if you're American and you're not familiar with idiomatics, like idioms or phrasal verbs or whatever the fuck, you probably would have a very hard time understanding the concept of this exam. And this exam is not to like measure the gauge of your day-to-day English usage. Is a way to like measure how well you can use the language. It's kind of like Japanese, where you have N5 all the way to N1. So N5 is the most basic use of Japanese. N3 is like the minimum level. So if you understand Japanese in like at the N3 level, you're good. Like you can literally live in Japan without a problem. But if you're trying to like become, or if your job requires you to have one, because your job is so technical and so difficult to acquire, like engineering jobs or lecturer's job or researching jobs, you will most likely need, or translation job as well. Translation job is like they are they they try to like find people who are at the N1 level. So English is basically that. English for the IELTs exam, the IELTS degree is basically that. They're trying to find people who are at like the top of their mastery, the top of their peak. So yeah, I hope I'm making sense. We're going to continue back to this. I actually have an exercise that I need to do. It's so fucking hot. I feel like I want to fucking like kill somebody. It is so goddamn hot. I am sweating everywhere. Okay. Let me see. Today is 5th May. Or, again, okay. This is one of the fun facts, because this is really interesting. For me, when I say a date, I would say the number first and the month later. So I would say the day first, and then I would say the month after. So I would say 5th of May. But in the Western culture, like if I want to get a high score, if I write out like specifically write out the date as 5th of May, or if I say 5th of May, if I'm doing my speaking exam and I'm saying 5th of May, I would most likely not get a high band. It's so fucking ridiculous just because of the culture differences. Just because I don't say May 5th, I say 5th of May, I could get a lower band. It's really fucking stupid. This is why I fucking hate IELTs. But I need it right now, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Right now, my listen. Okay, so to explain, to further explain how the IELTS exam score your like abilities. Basically, there's 4 skills. I'm sure everyone is very familiar with these 4 skills. We have listening, reading, speaking, and writing. So right now, my listening skill is basically like nearly at the peak. I could easily score an 8.0, like easily. Like no joke, I could literally whip out an 8-point band from my listening skill without any problem. And for my, let's see, for my what was the other one again? For my reading skill, okay, reading comprehension is a little bit difficult for me. Like, out of 40, it's 40 questions in the reading task, and there's like 4 to 5 questions where they would like give you different style of like a different form of reading task. So with 4 to 5 questions in one form of reading task, you would have to like for example, you have to find the answer based on what the author of the paragraph says, or well, there's like 5 paragraphs, and you have to like you have to summarize the main idea of that paragraph. Or this is basically a lot of fucking, a lot of fucking stuff, and it's really annoying. It's not as bad as the CAE exams. Oh my god, the CAE exam is a different beast. But anyway, the point is, reading comprehension. Reading comprehension. I could definitely score a 7. Like the lowest that I can score for my reading is most likely a 6.5, which is not ideal, but that's the reality of it. Like it is very difficult for me to like scan for informations and find the most appropriate one, because it's not about reading and understanding the whole paragraph. Like that's only 10% of the exam. That's only 10% of the reading task. Like the other 90% is to basically find the exact information, or find like information that is equivalent to what the test asks for. So for example, if I'm doing like a reading page, or I mean reading question, and it asks me to find like I need to, oh god, alright, give me a second, I need to think of an example. Okay, recently I just did one, and one of the question is to it basically said a reference to a method, a reference to 2 method of advertisement that aims at children's. Yeah, so I had to fucking write this out. A reference to 2 methods of advertisement, to methods of advertisement that aims at children. There we go. Like, I'm not even sure if this is grammatically, oh my god, grammatically correct. Like, there might not be an S here, there might not be an S here. Basically it's really fucking annoying. I'm pretty sure this has S because a reference is singular. Anyway, so the writing exam, one of the question would give like this, would give a statement, and my job is not to like find the information, the reading task, and write truth or false or not given. Like that's also part of the exam, but this part of the exam, I had to find the exact information in the reading passage from like 8 different fucking paragraphs. So yeah, it's not just about reading comprehension, it's about scanning as well. It's about skimming and scanning. This is one of the worst fucking thing that a human being can do. What else? Let's move on to the last skills. No, not the last. The next 2 skills. The third skill would be writing. So in writing, you get like 60 minutes, an hour to write 2 tasks. Task 1 and task 2. Task 1, you would have it will give you like either a chart, a pie chart, a bar chart, a line chart, or they'll give you a process, and they'll give you like 2 different maps. or two different like rooms, basically two different areas. You have to compare the old into the new. And what else? Um, I can't remember the other one. But basically, writing task one is to summarize and report the main features of an information that information of a given graph. So if the test gives me a math, not just a map, sorry, if the test gives me maps, there's two maps, the first maps and the second map maps. uh, uh, my brain is so fried. If the test gives me two maps, the first and the second one, and there would be differences in that in those maps, and your basically your main goal is to write out a summary and report the features that would make the most sense. It's not about writing as detailed as possible, it's about writing it's about how clear you can write to cover the informations that are needed from the maps or from the graphs from the graphs. So yeah, writing is probably one of the hardest one. And for task two is basically write an opinion or a statement. Like it sometimes give you the advantages or disadvantages of this particular statement. For example, maybe what is it? What would it be like? No, what's the advantage or disadvantages of a family member working in a restaurant? So yeah, that's probably one of the topics. And yep, basically I need to like write out an essay explaining the advantages oh my god, the advantages and the disadvantages. So that's basically task two. And writing is so fucking goddamn difficult because you need to like use connect phrase, what's it called, phrasal verbs, I think that's what it's called. Basically you need to use words such as these, or furthermore connective words, like words that connect from the first paragraph to the second paragraph, or maybe the first sentence to the second sentence. Or if you want to like write sentences that are opposite of the statement that you've already given, you write like on contrary, or contrary, or in contrast, or conversely. Yes, yeah, these. But you basically have to learn how to write these words, and you have to write formal like sentences that is precise in grammar, that uses the appropriate vocabulary. But the appropriate vocabulary, the appropriate vocab in this case does not involve these words. These are some of the words that I learn so that I can use in my speaking, which is the final skill. So yeah, we're done with writing. Basically, writing is the hardest for me. I'm pretty sure writing is probably the hardest for a lot of people, because the like IELTs oh my god, IELTs writing is not just about writing as you see it, but like you have to report it in the most formal way possible. That's basically IELTs writing. So anyway, last one, speaking. Speaking. Oh my god, how do I even explain speaking? Because okay, so there are a few rules, or there are a few like unannounced, unofficial rules. Eh, for lack of a better term, there are some unknown rules that are not officially set in IELTs exam. But you cannot say slangs. You cannot do dumb shit like a skibbity, like say dumbass words like that, because the exam requires you to speak in a more formal way. For example, let me see. Let me try and find a topic. For example, so speaking, there's like three parts. Part one is like generic speaking. The examiner will ask you some questions, you will answer those questions. And part two and part three will be related to each other. Part two will be like the structure, the question structure for part three. So whatever you get in part two, in part three you're gonna get more of that. You're gonna have to say more of that in part three. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, like that. If I burp, I would say excuse me, like the most formal like way to speak. And it's also unwise. Well, not unwise. It's also yeah, this is also not a good thing to do when you're speaking as well. Um, I guess for lack of a better term, it's also not unwise. It's unwise to just stay quiet and like leave awkward silences. Because if you're in a situation with an examiner and you're in silence trying to figure out the right words or right sentences to say to the examiner, you're gonna get a low band. Like it doesn't even matter if you save it like in the later parts of the exam, you're still gonna get a low band. Um, it's also not a good thing to just say filler words like, you know, yeah, not recommended. But if you make it subtle, if you like speak in a way that is that like um institute proper enunciation, or uh what's the word I'm looking for? Articulate, yeah. If you articulate yourself in a manner that makes sense, like the whole like the whole meaning of the word articulate means that you have to articulate in a way that makes sense no matter how long your sentence is. So yeah, learn how to articulate is basically learn how to speak uh, in a way that people would understand easier, that you can like throw in some couples of C1 C2 vocabularies. Like you have to use it subtly to raise your band in speaking. So speaking exams, speaking IELTs is probably the hardest task for most people, because a lot of the topics in speakings are very mundane. Like they are not difficult types of questions. They are not difficult topics. It's just that you would have a hard time thinking, like giving ideas to the topic if you don't really like don't really get exposed to those types of topics. I'll give an example. Housing, buildings, urban planning. Yeah, this is one of the examples that I have on the website right now. I can't show it. I can't show it because I don't really want to dox myself, so I'm not gonna show it. I'm just gonna read it to you guys. I mean, Um, I mean, I could screenshot this. I don't think I can. Okay. I don't think I can. Oh wait, this is the writing test. This is not. This is not the speaking test. Holy shit. That's a lot. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is it. This seems legit. Yeah, the word legitimate is actually a C1 word. So if you're a native English speaker working abroad, that stupid fucking ad of that fucking idiotic woman trying to scam people. Yeah, but seriously, the word legitimate is actually a very advanced word. And if you live in a English-speaking environment, legitimate is probably one of the most common words that you can encounter. So, people in Southeast Asia would have a hard time learning a word like that. Like kids in America they would easily understand what legit means. Like legit is such a easy, such a comprehensive word, and it's such a memeish word, which is why a lot of people understand what it means. But legitimate, the full word of it, legitimate, is an extremely high level advanced word. So yeah, a lot of people might not like be aware of that word. I'm trying to find a substitute for the word word. Oh, I forgot to take Wattpad Lab. Oh. Okay, everything is going. Oh god, everything is going wrong. I'm trying to replace my thing. I'm trying to replace my taskbar. I accidentally closed my tab. Okay, it's on. Good. Okay, I might have accidentally opened my DaVinci. No, not now. Good God. Everything is going wrong. Okay. Okay, I think I found a pretty good website that gives very detailed topics. So, oh, there's another website that also gives a lot of detailed topics. Holy shit, and it's long. There's 1,000 questions. God damn. Yeah, if you say "god damn" in an exam, if you say it subtly, I'm pretty sure the examiner would forgive your unappropriate. How do I say this? Your your misconduct. For the lack of a better word, if you said "god damn" because the word God is religious, but I say it as a like a very normal thing. I said God damn all the time, like God fucking shit, holy Jesus Christ. I said a lot of like these words, and in an exam, in speaking IELTS speaking exam, it's not advice. That's what I'm looking for. Advice. It's not advice that you should use words like that. But if you do, make it subtle, make it like second nature, like what I just did. Like I'm looking at the website and I say, "God damn!" That's so natural. That comes out so naturally that the examiner would be either impressed or either would like be unbothered or would like ignore how you say it. Because if you're not a native speaker and you say like if you're trying to sound native and you say, "Oh my god, that day I have this terrible day, I feel like goddamn." If you say dumb shit like that in an exam, oh, you're so dumb. Anyway, I think I found it pretty good. Oh, it's this guy. Oh. Okay. Is this his website? Oh, I definitely totally think that this is his website. Ah, okay, that's why. And it's all public. Oh, that's pretty good. Alright. Okay. I said I want to give you guys some examples, so I'm going to give you guys some examples. Please give me a moment. Maybe it's a better idea if I screenshot this. Oh, this is way too long. Okay. Don't think that I can screenshot that. Alright, so let me reiterate. There are 3 parts in the IELTS speaking exam, and the first part is going to be introduction and interview. So the examiner will ask you some basic questions like what's your name, where are you from, or where's your hometown, or are you a student, or are you a working adult, or whatever. So okay, let me see. Okay, they actually have a synopsis to explain it. Am I using that word right, synopsis? Because I only ever seen the word synopsis in like stories or mangas. Like if I'm trying to summarize an idea of what that manga or what that anime is, the word synopsis would appear. Okay, I want a synopsis. Can I apply this for my IELTS speaking exams? A brief summary or general survey of something. Oh, so a synopsis is just does actually mean something. Okay. Let me see. Synopsis. Ah, okay, that's pretty cool. So the word synopsis is actually a C1 level like word. Okay, that's actually great. Yeah, the whole point of studying this stupid fucking shit is to figure out which word that I've said on my daily on a daily basis, what I said on a daily basis, C1 or C2 level. So I have never known that the word synopsis is actually a C2 word. I mean a C1 word, sorry. Because I've only ever seen the word out, and I've understood the word based on Sean Septiceye, Jack Septiceye. Yeah, I've heard him said it once, and I was like, "Whoa, what does that mean? I've never heard of that word before." So I had to search it. I had to like search it out, and then I've heard the anime man Joey. I heard him said once again. So that's my second encounter of that word. And then I started like figuring out how like where I can find that word, and then in anime, like in anime, manga, and like storytelling medium, that word synopsis actually appears a lot. So yeah, synopsis is a very good word if you want to explain like a storyline, if you want to apply it in a storyline. But I don't think that fits in any of the topics given. Okay, I'm going to share with you guys topics that are given in IELTS speakings. Maybe I should use a different file. I'll use this for now. I'll organize a new one later. Oh god, I cannot copy this out. Wow. Thanks. Okay, very fucking helpful. I can't even copy this fucking thing now. Whatever. Anyway, I'm just going to write it out. Common speaking topics: work, study, hometown, home, art, bicycles, birthdays, childhood, clothes, computers, daily routine, dictionaries, evenings, family, and friends. Who go out, happiness, days, internet, leisure, time, music, neighbors, neighborhood. Fuck you, Microsoft Word. This is the correct spelling. Eat shit. Newspapers, pets, reading, shopping, sport, TV. Holy shit, that's a lot of topics. Oh my god. My back. Oh, I had to slouch just to record. Oh, holy crap, my back actually hurts. Alright, so these are like the most common topics that you can like encounter. I've been saying that fucking word like 3 times already. Encounter. That was a different word I can say. That you can face, come across. Oh my god. Confront. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. In IELTS speaking, you have to try your very best to use a lot of words that are like synonymous to each other. Like the word synonymous is also a very advanced word, by the way. Like synonyms, antonyms are very common, but they are also at least, I would guess, at least a B2 word. Because synonymous is not really a common word that anyone would use. Like if you're academically inclined. Does that phrase even make sense? No. If you're at an academically high level, the word synonymous would be like a word that you would hear more often than not. Yeah. Anyway, basically these are the topics that you would confront. These are the topics that you would come across like a lot. Like the first part 1, introducing and interviewing, the examiner would choose like one random topic out of all of these motherfucking topics, And these are not every topics in the whole exam, by the way. These are just the most common ones, which mean if which it really, it basically means that if the examiner wants to give the person an uncommon topic, you're fucked. You're so fucked. I don't even know if that's even a thing that they would do. Cause the IELTS exam, they change every fucking month. Like every month, I'm pretty sure it's every month. I haven't updated myself on like the works. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that I haven't like keep up with the oh my god, my brain is so fried I can't even talk right now. I haven't keep up with the latest trend of IELTs. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh god. That sentence just trying to think of that sentence already fucked my brain up. Okay, how long have I been recording? I've been recording for 41 minutes. Give me like 5 minutes, guys. What the fuck? What the hell happened? Oh my lord. Ugh. What the fuck happened here? Ugh. Okay. Fuck you. You're screwing with me. It's locked. It's locked. It's locked also. There we go. Oh my god. Ugh. Delete this. Okay. I guess my goal to achieve like a 7.5 band for my IELTs is to get to like maximize my efficiency in speaking. Speaking is something I cannot control and it freaks me out, so I'm gonna try my best to improve the amount of vocabularies that I have, like the amount of vocabularies that I would normally apply in my day-to-day life. Like difficult words such as exacerbate, ameliorate, elucidate. The word elucidate I actually learned recently from a game called Nice Enfield. Because for some fucking reason, that word appeared. Because, oh my god, for some fucking reason, my wife, Leek, what's her name again? Fang Yi, yeah. Fang Yi. She said something about elucidate, and I was so confused because my brain was so fried at that point. I was like, what the fuck is elucidate? I have never heard that word before. And then I've heard it again. Like, I've actually heard someone use that fucking word again. And of course, it was none other than Jordan Peterson. That man used a lot of exotic words. Yeah. And it's just not, it's not the fact that he used a lot of exotic words, it's the fact that he understood what he's trying to say, which is what the whole point of a speaking exam is to say as if you mean it, and say as if you want someone to understand your point as concisely as possible. So yeah. Oh my god. there's a lot of tips in speaking, like especially for the your speaking, your IELTs speaking exams. There's a lot of tips. Like some people would say that you should use words like uh furthermore, this problem, blah 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 blah. In addition to that problem, blah 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 blah. I mean, it's effective, but it's grammatically decent. Like you don't really have to say those words for necessarily, but if you say it as less as possible. Like if you're trying to make a point, if I need an example because I can't just fucking pop an example out of my head out of nowhere. Anyway, okay. So first, I'm going to introduce you guys the three parts and how it works first. Part 1 is introduction and interview. The examiner will ask you questions about yourself and your life. Basically, these IELTS speaking questions are usually easier to answer than the other two parts. The good news is all the questions are about. The good news is all of the questions are about, and what the fuck is this sentence? The good news is all the questions are about, and you are the world leading expert on the topic of you. Whoa, this fucking sentence just gave me a hernia. What the hell? Yeah, this is the kind of sentence that a normal person wouldn't typically say. Like, this is something that a British person would say. The good news is all the questions are about. Who says that? Are about. What does that even mean? Are out there? That's probably what it means. I don't know. And you are the world leading expert on the topic of you. What the fuck does that even mean? It's like such. These are such snobbish, and pretentious way of talking. Yeah, it kind of pisses me off, but it is what it is, guys. You have to be pretentious if you want a band of 9 points. 9 point is the highest band that you can get. Anyway, here are some of the example questions that I'm going to read to you guys. Can you tell me where you live? Can you tell me where you live? Yeah, the examiner will ask you that. And if you were brave enough to say, oh, I live in Nunya, and the examiner, sometimes the examiner will not even respond. They will not ask, where's Nunya? They legit would not ask that. They would wait for you to finish your sentence and then move on to a different question. Like, sometimes IELTS examiners are assholes. So, but if there's a chance, if the probability of an examiner asking was Nunya, oh, it would be such a good joke to start off with. Like, oh, I live in Nunya, and then the examiner's like, oh, where is Nunya? None of your business. Boom. Best case scenario. Sorry, no, that's not a best case scenario. You would actually, they would actually deduct your points. I don't know if they would be happy to receive such a crazy ass joke like that, but if they do, then honestly, good on them and good on you too. If that's the case, like if you just so happen to make the examiner laugh. But yeah, the first question, or the most basic question they would ask is, can you tell me where you live? Okay, I will respond like in the most basic way possible. I will only respond in 2 like sentence. So yeah, oh, I lived in, and I've been living here my entire life. I was born and raised in this town, this city. Yeah, sorry, I can't really disclose where I live, guys. But yeah, that is a prime example on how to like properly answer that question. So anyway, next question. Do you work or study? Yeah, this is a very common question that they would ask, because if they found out that you're a student, and if they found out that you have like a high affinity for speaking, English speaking, basically, you have a high affinity for English speaking, then they will literally give you the most basic ass topics, and they will ask you harder ones if they figure out that your ability to speak English is way above anybody else. So if you're a student, you would actually get you would actually get uh, an advantage. Is what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Anyway, do you work or study? Well, currently I am doing both. I am studying for the IELTs exam, obviously, and I'm also working as a. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, guys. Again, I'm not going to review what I'm working as. I don't want to dox myself. I don't really want to like say personal informations online. I feel like that's way too dangerous. I feel like people would literally figure out where I live, and that is a scary thing to say. Anyway, but yeah, that is an example for you guys. Anyway, next one. What do you do in your free time? Not a lot. I normally would sit down and record myself playing a game, because I view myself as a content creator. I don't know if that's a good thing to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway because that's my personality. That's literally just me saying the most like me thing. Normally, in my leisure time, I would sit down and yeah, actually, it's a very good thing. It's very recommended if you paraphrase the question. Like if the examiner asks you where do you work or study, if they ask you that, the most basic way to answer it is you would say, "Oh, I work here, here, here. I study at this school." But if you can paraphrase what you just said, instead of saying, "Oh, I work here," you could say, "Oh, my occupation, oh, my job is to." If you say, like, if you paraphrase it like that, you would actually get a higher band because the examiner understands that you understands the language. Boom. Yeah, boom. Shocker. Crazy, right? Yeah. Yeah, the exam is that snobbish. You're not allowed. Well, I mean, you're allowed, but you're you're better off if you start saying like sentences that comes naturally to you. So, if what comes naturally to you is to like straight up answer the question, like just straight up use the words in the question to answer, then hey, hats off. That's you. You really can't change who you are, but you can adapt and use like more complex techniques to answer your questions. But yeah, it is very advised to paraphrase your answer. So the question okay. So the question is, what do you do in your free time? So personally, or uh, normally, or commonly, it's best to use words like that, like adverbs. I think I call adverbs. Yeah, if it's best if you use like adverbs. Normally, often I would do basically, yeah, because it shows that you actually understand what you're trying to say. So, which is a good thing. Anyway, what was I trying to say? Oh my god. Normally, during my leisure time, I would sit down on my computer and just record myself playing games because I am one of those people who most would call a content creator. and I create videos and I edit them and I upload them to my channel. I'm sure you heard of me. Nah, I'm not really famous. Anyway, to learn more about how to answer these types of questions, watch the following video. Okay, yeah. Will someday I'll show you guys the video of this guy, because I think this guy is very, he's commonly known as the type, he's commonly known as a type of like coach. I guess that's the better term that I can use. He's commonly known as a coach who specializes in the IELTs exams. So yeah, maybe I'll show some videos of him in the future, but not today. Alright, I already have too much on my plate today. God damn. Yeah, saying words like too much on my plate is a very idiomatic sentence, like phrase, and it's very advised. It's very recommended if you say that in your speaking exam. Like, I have too much on my plate and I'm just so exhausted. And I just want to lay down my bed and be as snug as a bug under the blanket. Words like that are very recommended if you're doing the IELTS exam. So, okay, let's move on to the next part. Next part is part 2, the long run, quote unquote, the long run. The examiner will give you a topic card. You have 1 minute to prepare your response. 1 minute? I thought it was 2 minutes. Oh yeah, sorry. You have one. Okay, I actually understand part 2. So part 2, you get a maximum of 2 minutes to say what you want to say based on the cards that the examiner gives you. So if the examiner gives you about a if the examiner gives you a card about hobbies, then you have 1 minute to prepare, and you have maximum, you guys have to remember this, you have a maximum of 2 minutes to talk about the topics in the card. Yeah. And this is what I heard from like my friend, but I don't know if this is true or not, but it is very recommended. If you're able to do it, you should try to talk and end the explanation, or end the topics that you're trying to say in 1 minute and 45? No, 1 minute and 50 seconds. Basically as close to 2 minutes as possible. Because if you don't have enough, like, if you don't have enough vocabulary, or you don't have enough story time when you're trying to do the second part, and you have some excess time, like if you have like excess 15 minutes, the examiner will give you a different question, and that would actually like it would involve in it would resolve, no, result, good god, it would my brain is so fried, it would result in you getting less points. So yeah, if somehow you say what you want to say and you have like 30 seconds left, that is very, very bad. That's the worst case scenario. Like, if your timing is not close to 1 minute and 50 seconds, you're basically doomed. Because it doesn't end well if you finish what you want to say, and then there's this awkward silence, because the examiner trying to see how much you can, like, how much can you follow up with the topic, and if you don't have enough content you want that you want to display, or that you want to say, or you want to You wanna. Oh my god, my brain is so fried. I can't even like. I can't even think. Yeah, basically. I'm not going to explain myself. It takes way too much effort. So yeah. Um the examiner will give you a topic card, you will have 1 minute to prepare for your response, and you will speak for 1 to 2 minutes on the topic. Don't worry, the examiner will stop you when you reach 2 minutes. Oh yeah. It's also good it's a better idea to reach over 2 minutes than to have less things to say, because of course they will deduct your points, but just not a lot, by like a little bit, by like a small margin of your score, but they will still deduct your points if you have too much content to say and you pass the 2 minutes mark. So it's not recommended. If you talk so much to the point that it reaches over 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I would assume, then done. Doom. You're fucking dead. You're just fucking dead. The topics are random and cannot be predicted, but they are normally topics that anyone in the world can talk about. Sure, anyone in the world can talk about. Can someone who has never used a computer talk about computers? Sure. What a load of baloney. I mean, these are honestly not difficult topics, but like, if you're someone like me who has never read a newspaper in your entire life, I have never held a newspaper in my entire fucking life. I don't even know what to talk about when if the examiner gives me a topic about newspaper. Like, how the fuck do I even talk about that? Is that animals? There's no animals topics? What? There should be animals topics. Or maybe pets counts as animals. I don't think this counts as animals. Because I recently practiced a topic about like, what type of animal do you fear the most? Or I mean, what type of animals are you afraid of? Yeah, that's the topic that I got, and I had to explain where I saw the animal, when did it happen, why am I afraid of that animal, or whatever. Oh my god, some assholes is like honking outside my house. But yeah, I'm sure there's topics about animals as well. For some reason, this website doesn't say. Yeah, there's no animal topics here. Okay, whatever. Anyway, let's move on. Here are some examples of Part 2 IELTS speaking questions that have been asked in previous years. Okay, describe a time when you're really proud of yourself. Okay, that's one topic. There you go. That's one topic you guys can like give it a try. Describe a time when you are really proud of yourself. When was it? Why were you proud of yourself? Give examples. Yeah. Give it a try, guys. Here's 2 more topics for you. Talk about a hobby that you enjoy. Okay, tell me about a place that you have visited that you really like. See, these are very mundane topics. These are not like difficult niche ass topics. But if you're trying really hard to pick a place that you really enjoy, I'm a fucking introvert, guys. There are no place that I enjoy. There are no fucking like. There's no destination that I wanna be a part of. I wanna go to. I mean, you can say that. You can say that. I don't really have a place that I enjoy the most, but there is this one place that comes to my mind. The first thing I read the topic is that this what's it called? This Thai restaurant. Me and my mom usually go to this Thai restaurant, because there's a food item there that we both enjoy so much that we would come no, that we would head off to that restaurant, we head on to that joint. uh, yeah, you can't really change the way that you're trying to say. Like if you change mid sentence, that's also not a like not a recommended thing to do. It's also bad. Like you're not really allowed to do that. In normal conversation, you're allowed to do that, but in exam, switching switching mid sentences basically means that you're struggling with using words, so that's a bad thing. But yeah, uh, me and my mom, every single week, me and my mom would go to this joint like once, or in other words, me and my mom usually go to this joint like once a week, and we would join this one dish. And I'm sure there's an English word for it, but for the lack of better words, I'm going to translate it. The dish is called fried fish, and it's not just your typical fried fish. It's not like a burger joint fried fish. It's fried fish, but with, I'm trying to figure out what this fucking taste is. It's kind of tangy and soury. Oh my god. Yeah, see? This is what I'm talking about. Like, it's a fucking food that I eat so often. Oh yeah, I'm not exaggerating, by the way. I actually like the Thai restaurant that I went to with my mom. Actually has a dish that tastes so goddamn good, and they have this sauce. They have like a tangy, sweet, and soury sauce, and kind of spicy because they put like, what's it called? What's this fucking thing called? I don't know what it's called, but it's like a spicy, uh, a spicy, Yeah, I would totally fail the fucking exam if I explain like that. Yeah, this is what I fucking hate about the exam, cause I'm trying to explain food in the most precise way possible, and like a normal person would literally describe food just like what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to I'm trying my best to describe the food as like properly as possible, but that's just not something that a normal person can do. That's really annoying. My head hurts. I guess it's, oh god. Oh, okay, I know what it's called now. Chili oil. I watch cooking videos literally every day. I doom scroll cooking videos every fucking day, and I completely forgot the word chili oil. Uh, this is really annoying. But yeah. Anyway, that's the second topic. So let's move on to the final topic, which is part 3, discussion questions. Discussion questions is basically the examiner will like continue to ask you more details about everything that you said in part 2. So in part 2, if you're talking about your favorite hobby that you enjoy, then the examiner in part 3, the examiner will ask you like more details of how did you stumble upon the hobby, or like how do you feel when when you're like having an activity with that hobby that you enjoy, or yeah, basically more detailed questions. The examiner will ask you more detailed questions about the topic from part 2. They may also ask you about other interrelated topics. They are normally on abstract IELTS speaking questions and resemble the kind of academic questions you might get asked in IELTS writing task 2. Oh, okay. Okay, basically what it's trying to say is that in writing task 2, there are like a few topics that would happen. Like the example that I gave earlier, advantage or disadvantage, or agree or disagree, or do you like and why? Basically, here are some examples of questions that you have been asked in previous years. Oh, sorry, that have been asked in previous years. What are the advantages and disadvantages of taking up a new hobby? There we fucking go. Yeah, if you're doing like a hobby topic, and if they started asking you like questions like that, oh my good lord, you would get fucked right in the anus, guys. Like you're going to try your best to like give a statement and explain why that statement is an advantage and gives examples of that statement, and then you have to move on to the disadvantage. Like you're not just choosing one. You actually had to say 2 things from that one fucking questions. Hey guys, what are the advantage and disadvantage of taking up a new hobby? And then you have to think about it. And not only you have to think about it, you have to like you have to figure out how to explain it in the most easy to understand way possible. So yeah, absolutely obnoxious, absolutely fucking blasphemous. Fucking God would be like, if you ask God this question and you give God a 6.0 ban, God would fucking punish you. I'm not even religious, guys. I'm just saying it just because I despise this exam so much. Anyway, what are the advantages and disadvantages of taking up a new hobby? Do you think people should return to their hometowns after finishing school or university? Oh, that's a really fucking hard question. And sometimes you would actually forget the question, which fucking sucks, by the way. You would literally get your points deducted if you forget the question. Absolutely ridiculous. What are the benefits of living in a big city? Well, in contrary, in contraries of living in a rural area, my brain is so fried I can't even think of a story to tell. I can't even give a statement right now because I'm so tired. So fucking tired, guys. Sucks. Okay, I'm going to try my best to shit out as much information that I can possibly endure. Endure? You get my idea. Whatever. Fucking shit. What are the benefits of living in a big city? Well, in contrary of living in a rural area, the countryside don't normally have Wi-Fi or the internet, and if you want to enjoy a nice cold environment, for example, if you want to actually that's a very bad thing to say. Okay. Okay. I'm going to redo this part because I suddenly remember like a technique that I should be applying, but I'm not applying for some fucking reason. Anyway, what are the benefits of living in a big city? Well, uh, one of the benefits or one of the merits. Yeah, if you say one of the merits, that actually shows that like you're good at using the language. Anyway, uh, well, I guess that one of the merit of living in an urban area is that you get access to Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is so ubiquitous. Almost everyone needs it, and it's very difficult to have Wi-Fi in the countryside. Because the countryside, because it's no. Okay, yeah, that's it. I stopped my sentence there. Now I'm going to give an example. For example, if I'm trying to eat at a joint and in the big city, obviously I could get access to people's home Wi-Fi or the local Wi-Fi. Yeah, but in the countryside, I couldn't even get a single bar. I couldn't even get a single signal on my phone. So that's one of the advantages living in the city. Another thing that how should I say this? Another thing that the cities completely wins over the countryside is the fact that we have supermarkets, we have malls. Is that a good reason? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a good reason. Yeah, we have malls, and supermarkets have an abundance of items that you can go in and you can buy, and sometimes I don't even want to go into the supermarket to buy anything. I just want to enjoy the cool air from the ACs, or I just want to enjoy the ACs in that place. You could say it like that, basically. In contrary to the rural area. My vocab is so limited that all I can think of is countryside and rural. Like, these are the two words that I know when describing a place with like no people. Yeah, that's the best I can conjure up, guys. Holy crap. Oh, my brain is so fried. I am so exhausted. Oh god. I feel like I just walk into a gym and then come out more fatter than ever. Like, I literally just came from. I just came home from the gym. I'm all sweaty, but I'm still fat as fuck. Yeah, that's basically it. A few warnings that the website gives is that do not prepare answers for these IELTS speaking questions. The IELTS test is not a test of memorization. Use these IELTS speaking questions to practice and familiarize yourself with the test. Yeah, that's basically the whole idea of this IELTS speaking test, is to understand that you're not trying to understand that you're not trying to be pretentious or say the most native or having the most native answers. The whole point of the speaking exam is being able to conversate. Is that even a word? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's not, whatever. Is being able to conversate with people with the most mundane topics. Like these topics are so simple, but sometimes because you have so little experience with giving people answers, that you couldn't just say it outright. Like, yeah, that's basically it. Get yourself familiar with the exam. IELTS speaking topics. A limited number of topics may appear in part 1 of the test. Common part 1 topics. Do you work or study? Your home, your hometown, your free time. Don't expect to only be asked about these. Be worried when you get unexpected. Don't be worried when you get unexpected topics. Prepare memorized answers. Expect common topics for part 2 and part 3. To be prepared for the test, get your speaking level up to the point where you can handle any topic. Sure, dude. Wow, very helpful tip. No. The tip is so sour that you need to wash it off. if you get what I'm trying to say, if you understand my insinuation, yeah, good for you. You don't, good for you. I'm so tired. I have like 5 minutes left. I actually wanted to like do. Oh yeah! Holy shit! I completely forgot. Should I do this today? Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna do it today. I'm too tired. I don't really give a fuck. I actually have an exercise, like a listening exercise that I haven't finished. Part 3. Listening. IELTS listening exam has 4 parts. The first and the second part. The first part is like writing, like filling. Oh my god, filling the blank. Part 2 is to try your best to match the structure to the appropriate place on the map, and try to answer like 4 questions at the same time. Part 3 is listening to like people talk to each other, and then choose the answer that they would agree, or choose an answer that they would say, or basically, yeah. And part 4 is to fill in the blank again, but it's a harder version of part 1. And I still need to do part 3 because I haven't finished it. I'm so tired, guys. Also, I do apologize of all my disgusting noises that I'm making today, and I do apologize about the wind, the fan noise. It's just too hot. What do you expect me to do, guys? Come on, cut me some slack. Anyway, I have 1 minute left, so I guess I'm going to end it here for today because I am way too fucking tired to do anything right now. And I mean, I'm being able to like create this is already a good thing. So yeah, anyway, guys, embrace yourself, learn what you love what you do your best to be the better you. Learning never ends. Ending means quitting. So just fail and try again.